All right, y'all. Welcome back. We're going to be talking a little bit about reading the fretboard. Reading fretboard charts is well, not just, but it's very similar to reading chord charts. So once you know how to read them, you can always use them as a reference. So today we'll be going over, for one, the major scale. And so I'm going to play the major scale and I'm going to line the major scale out for you as well here in this video. And I'm going to also do some cuts to reading the fretboard chart and show you the correlation to the fretboard chart and the guitar because it's lined out the same way. It's just on paper. And once you know how to read it, then you always know how to use it as a reference to memorizing your scales, memorizing chords. And if you kind of get stuck, you can always use it as a tool, so put in your toolkit. So you'll have that as well in the link to this video on the major scale. So talking about the major scale is in mode terms the Ionian, but we won't go there right now. But major scale is the happy-go-lucky scale, I like to call it. I don't really call it that, but it just gives you a happy feeling. It's the basis of most music. So what I just did here is a C major scale. If you go to my guitar chord study, the G chord study, I'll also go over that scale too, because it's a different form, which I'll also show you here. Excuse me. It's a different form or different fingering of the scale. Same scale, just different place. So on our C major scale, we're going to start on our 5th string, 3rd fret, first finger. So if you beginner guitar, you see those dots. So that's why I'm putting this scale here, because you can use those dots as a really good reference. So the first dot, it will put you on the 3rd fret, unless you have one in the 1st fret, which doesn't make sense. But 3rd fret, and we're gonna go off the 5th string, 3, 5, 7. And you're going to be using your 1st finger, your 2nd finger, and your 4th finger. 2nd finger is your middle finger, then 4th finger. So 3, 5, 7. 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. So 3, 5, 7. So try that with me. Right? And then the next string down, your 4th string, you're going to do the exact same thing, except it's on the 4th string, 3, 5, 7. I'm just playing it a few times so you can kind of get it in your ear and kind of get some practice in that one position as well. So let's try just those 6. I know you might be a little slow. It might be a little bit behind me, but I just want you to practice this. So it'll be 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, string down on the 4th string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. All right. Then going down to the 3rd string, we're going to go 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret with the same fingerings, the 1st finger, the 2nd finger, the 4th finger. So 3rd string, 4th, 5th, 7th. Then the 2nd string, we're going to go 5, 6, 8. So 5th fret, 6th fret, 8th fret. And then the 1st string, 5, 7, 8. And that last one is really where your fingering changes, because you're going to just go 1, 3, 4 instead of 1, 2, 4. We've been going 1, 2, 4 all the way down. But that last one, you're going to do 1, 3, 4 on the 5th fret, 7th fret, and 8th fret. All right, so let's try it again. Back to the 5th string, 3rd fret. We're going to go 3, 5, 7 on that string. 4th string, 1 string down, 3, 5, 7 again. 1 string down to the 3rd string. Then we're going to go 4, 5, 7. 1 string down. We're going to go to the 2nd string. We're going to go 5, 6, 8. 1 string down. 1st string. We're going to go 5, 7, 8. Now let's put it all together very slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. 1. Now this is 2 octaves, all right, because the major scale really consists of 7 notes. So the first 7 notes is actually the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back at the beginning again. That's the octave. You hear they sound the same, and then this bottom one, those are the same. So we're doing 2 octave scale in C major. So we're playing the scale twice, one in each register, right? So let's try it again. 3, 5, 7 on that 5th string. 3, 5, 7 on the 4th string. 4, 5, 7 on the 3rd string. 5, 6, 8 on the 2nd string. 5, 7, 8 on the 1st string. And then we want to come backwards, right? We want to come back. So 8, 7, 5. 6, 8, 5. 8, 6, 5 on the 2nd string. Then 7, 5, 4 on the 3rd string. Then 7, 5, 3 on the 4th string. Then 7, 5, 3 on the 5th string. Now we want to put it all together. All right, now let's try with a drum beat because we always want to try to play in time too once we get it. So this next section, you'll be practicing with me. All right, so just to give you a little bit of mindset or idea of the beat. So when you hear this beat, you hear the snare drum. The snare drum is on the 2 and the 4. So typically when you hear a music or hear a beat, typically that main snare is going to be on the 2 and the 4. So we can find where our 1 would be. 1, 2. 1, 2. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ready, go. Two more times. One more time. Good job. All right. So that's your major scale, your C major scale. Now I'm going to show you the G major scale, and then I'm going to show you how we can move these things all over the place. So at the G major scale, we're actually going to be starting in the same fret, but just one string up. This is where we're going to be using that low 6th string. Now, the form of it is very similar to the C major scale, except it has a couple changes, and theoretically we're ending on a different note, but we're going to make sure we put it in time to where it all equals out. So I'm going to show you I'm going to play for you what it sounds like. Now, I did a couple interesting things in there. Like I introduced chromaticism on this. I got this from one of my guitar teachers. He's a guitar great. His name is Frank Gambale. He's not my personal guitar teacher, but I've gone through some of his books and some of his materials, and I've seen how he teaches. And so I'm going to impart some Frank Gambale to you. But so it starts off the same, right? It's 3-5-7, 3-5-7. So the major scale usually in this position starts off 3-5-7, 3-5-7, or so off the 6th string, we're using the same fingering. So 3rd fret on the 6th string, 5th fret 6th string, 7th fret 5th string, go down to the 5th string, 3, 5, 7 again. Then this is where it goes to 4, 5, 7. And then the next string down is the same, 4, 5, 7. So 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7 off the 4th string and the 3rd string. Then the last two are 5, 7, 8. So 5, 7, 8 on the 2nd string and 5, 7, 8 on the 1st string. But I noticed when I played the scale, I did something different, which we'll get into a little later. But I want to make sure that you understand how to at least build the scale going down, and then we can do the variation here a little later. So we're doing 3 notes per string just for the sake of this video and this lesson. So 3-5-7 back on the 6th string, 3-5-7 on the 5th string, 4-5-7 on the 4th string, 4-5-7 on the 3rd string, then 5-7-8 on the 2nd string, and we're using our 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, and then 5-7-8 on the last string. So we'll sound something like this. Now, the scale actually ends. There's your G on the 2nd string and the 8th fret. But we do 3 more notes here at the bottom just so we can have continuity over all the strings. So that's the one I want to show you. So it might show it on the fretboard chart that I'm about to show you, but even if it doesn't, we'll just kind of take it from there, because these notes are always going to be there. We just want to make sure that we're playing in time as well when we start using the metronome. But here we go again. I'll play it for you without the metronome, and then you'll practice with me. So 3-5-7 on 6th string, 3-5-7 on the 5th string, 4-5-7 on the 4th string, 4-5-7 on the 3rd string, then 5-7-8 on the 2nd string, 5-7-8 on the 1st string. Now, what I'm doing as we start to use the metronome, I'm going so I'm only hitting the 2 notes at the on the 1st string, and then coming right back, I'm skipping. And then I'm doing some chromaticism right there. I'm doing 5, 4, 3. So it ends on time. So we're going to come to that part with the chromaticism a little later. But I do want to first play this scale with you with the metronome. I'm going to show you the way I taught you with the metronome. 2, ready, go. Again. One more time. All right, so you notice that I had to let the beat kind of go a little bit longer for the turnaround before I started again, but that's okay because we're in practice mode. But now I'm going to show you how I would play this if I were practicing this scale the Frank Gambale way. See how it ended right there on the 1? So let's speed that one up a little bit too. I'm going to show you how I would play that if I were doing a bit faster with the same speed. So my goal is to get you playing this major scale to that level as well. And it's going to take a little bit of practice, but don't worry. I'm going to be right here with you. You can practice with me just how we've been doing right now and catch me on the live sessions, or you can also practice with me, ask me anything, and get your playing to the next level. So that's what we're doing here, y'all. We making sure we get you guys to the next level, and we're going to make sure that we know these scales inside and out because it's the foundation of music, scales, chords, and once we start digging into the theory, it's going to get really, really interesting, as well as some of the ear training. We'll be doing some ear training classes as well to get your ears right, because you got to have these things so you know what you're listening to, what you're trying to play, and you can tell when the notes probably don't add up, probably don't make sense, and sometimes when they do. So with that, guys, hope you got some value out of this. I will see you guys later.